Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are my returning subscriber, I say a very big thank you, and if you are stopping by for the first time, please like, comment, share and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to leave without putting on the notification bell. It will help you to know when I posted a new video. So we are going to have a tutorial now on how to cut and sew a bubu gown. It's a very simple tutorial to make. Some people call it a butterfly gown. It's very easy to make. So let's get started. This is the fabrics we are going to use for this tutorial. I've already folded it into 4. So what will determine your fold is where the sleeve will get to. So you measure from the center of your back, your neck back, from the center to where the sleeve will stop. That's how to get the material that you put on fold. And also another thing you need is the full length of the gown you are making. So let's get started. This gown I'm going to make is going to have a collar. So the cutting of the neck will be different from the one you have been used to. So the neck width I'm going to use for this tutorial is 3 inches. So this is my block side, while this side is my pieces side. I hope you are seeing me. I'm trying to adjust the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. Good. I think it's better this way. So here is my block side, while here is the pieces side. So on this block side is where I'm going to input my neck measurement now. So for the neck width I'm working with 3 inches. I'm taking 3 inches as my neck width. So the back neck depth, I'm taking 1 inch for the back, 3 by 1 for the back. While the front, I'm taking 3.5. I'm making it for a plus size. So this 3.5 that I'm taking is not constant. It depends on the size of the person that you are making it for. So this, I'm making it for a plus size. So 3.5 is okay for this. So I'm going to curve my neckline now. So for the back, I'm using 3 by 1. So I'm curving it now. I'm using this my master to curve it. Pattern master to curve it, sorry. Then for the front, I took 3.5. You know, it's a chiffon fabric, it has to be dancing. So when you are using this type of fabrics to work, please make sure you pin and pin and pin. It's very important. The material used to behave somehow. So now this is it. I'm going to cut the back neckline first, then I will separate the fabrics to remove the back before I will now cut the front. So now I'm cutting my back neckline. I've cut the back, so I'm going to separate this to cut the front. Now I've separated the back from the front. So I'm cutting the front neckline now. So now that I've cut this now, the next thing I'm going to do, I'll put the two together and now slope the shoulder. So at the shoulder, for the shoulder slope now, I'm going to take 2 inches. 2 inches for the shoulder slope. So I'll connect it to this my neck width here, then I'll cut it out. So I've connected it to my neck width, so now I'm cutting it out. When you are doing this, you have to be very careful, especially when you are working with chiffon fabric. You really need to be very careful. So I'll slope the shoulder. Okay, now that we are done sloping the shoulder, I've separated the part from the front. So now I'm going to make provision for the slit because it has slit at the front. So from this my center front neckline now, I'm going to measure. I'm taking 5 inches for my slit. 5 inches. This is where my slit will stop, at 5 inches here. Now I'm going to put facing on it. This is my door face fabric. I folded it into 2. The folded side of my door face fabric that I'm using for the facing is on the center front. So I have my slit is stopping at 5 inches. That means I will have extra at least 1.5 inches or 2 inches, but I'm going with 2 inches. That means my facing will be 7 inches, while I will have like 3 inches by this side. So now I'm going to cut it out. When you are doing, make sure that your neckline align very well on it before you cut. So now I'm going to cut out my, sorry that I'm trying to make sure that it's aligning well. No, this is a chiffon fabrics. It can be funny sometimes. So I'm going to cut my door face this way. Then the slit, I'm not cutting it yet. I will sew before I will cut. So now that I'm done cutting it, I've cut the neckline of the top face out. I've cut it out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove my fabrics. So on the side, I'm taking 3 inches. I can make it 3.5. We take it round. 3.5 inches. You can take 3 inches, you can take 2 inches, depending on what you want. So remember I said here that I'm taking up to 7 inches here. So here also I'm taking 3.5 inches. That means I'm connecting it from this side this way to here, then from here to this way. So I'm cutting this out as my facing now. So this is what I will have now. This is my facing now. So I will bring this my front, open it up this way. The right side of my facing will face the right side of my fabrics. So I will put my facing here this way. I hope you are seeing what I'm doing. So I'm going to top stitch on this with 1/2 inch. But before I will do that, at this my center front, you can give it a notch. If you are a beginner, you can just give it a notch this way so that you'll be able to know your center front. So what I will do now, at this my center front here, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch on both sides. 1/2 inch. Then I will make a straight line of 5 inches here. I hope you are seeing the straight line I made here. So on this straight line, you mark 1/2 inch on both sides. Then you connect it as a V to this point. So I hope you have seen what I did here now. So I'm going to sew it this way. When I'm done sewing it, I will now open here and give it a notch by the side. You can see I'm done sewing it. So I will just cut through from this middle here. This is my center front this way. You be careful when you are doing this. So you will not cut your thread. See what I did? So this excess here, I have to reduce it as much before I will notch. I also do same this side. So now that I've removed it, I will now notch it. Please, when you are notching, be careful not to cut your thread. While we are notching it, for it to relax very well. So I have to turn it. You see, so that you will see what it looks like before we continue the neckline. You see what we have here now? This is what I have here now. So I'll use iron to press it down and relax it. So this is what we have now. So I'm still going to turn it like this to the wrong side so that I will top stitch the neckline. I have to top stitch the neckline before we will join our sleeve. So I will top stitch it before we now join the sleeve together. So I'm done joining the sleeves together now. This is our sleeve. We have joined it together. So now I'm going to measure the round neck because I'm going to attach this collar to it. The tutorial of how to cut this collar will be linked to this video. So because I don't want this video to be too lengthy, so that's why I will not go to explain how. I will not explain how I achieved it, but I will link the tutorial because I posted it in my YouTube channel. So I'm going to attach this collar to it, a bishop collar. So what I'm going to do now, what you are going to do when you want to do something like this is, you will measure your round neck this way. You measure it. Be careful when you are measuring it. You don't rush it because you don't need to make any mistake. Okay, here now I have 17 inches here for the round neck. So that means 17 inches divided by 2 is 8.5 inches. That means, because you know that when you are cutting, you will fold this collar into 2 to fold it here. That's how to achieve it. So there's another way to measure around neck. You can just fold it into 2 like this. Make sure that they're equal. Then you just measure it like this. Like this. I have 8.5 here. You can see it, 8.5. I hope you are seeing it. So now to the collar. So this collar now, this side is the side that will sit on the neck, while this is the side that will be up. So I'm going to sew this side that will be up now. This interface here is a guide. This is exactly the size of the collar I need. 1¼ inch. So I'm sewing on this allowance now till here. Okay, I've joined it together. Now what I'm going to do now, this my collar now, I'm going to get the mid of this collar now. I'll get the mid. This is the mid of the collar. I'm going to notch it. Okay. Now, this my fabrics. I have already notched the mid. This is the mid. So I will bring my collar now. This side that I attach interface will face the right side of my fabrics. I'll make sure that the two meet each other. Then I will now sew it round on it. Okay, I'm done sewing it to the neckline. So I'm going to fold this in. This that is serving as interface, I will fold in my sewing allowance. Push the sewing allowance of the one I've sewed already inside. Then I'll put it on top of it and top stitch it round. So now I'm going to start the shaping now. So I'm going to take my bust point line, which is here, this point. So I'm going to input the measurement of my bust here. So from here I'm taking the chest line, the waistline, which is here. This is the waistline. Then I'm also taking the hip line, which is at this point. This is the hip line. So now I will start to input the body measurements. The bust I'm working with is 50. 50 divided by 4 is 12.5 inches plus 2 inches for ease. That is 13.5. So I'm taking 13.5 on both sides. You know, I'm sewing from the front. That means I have to, all my markings are on the right side. This is 13.5. So on this side also, I will take my 13.5. This is my 13.5 here. Then on the waist I'm working with is a waist of 48 inches. So 48 inches divided by 4 is 12 inches. So I'm putting at the waist, I'm putting 1 inch for ease. So that is 13 inches. I can also go with the 13.5. I can go with the 13.5 that I have on my bust and also on my waist. I'm taking 13.5. So my bust and waist measurement is the same. So the hip I'm working with is a hip of 54 inches. So 54 inches divided by 4 will give us a 13.5. So I'm taking plus 2 inches for ease. That is 15.5. So on both sides, I'm taking 15.5 on both sides. 15.5 for my hip. So I'm also going to input the 15.5. Sorry, the table is not wide enough. But just, I hope you are following what I'm doing. I'm taking 15.5 here. So that 15.5, I will from here, so maintain this 15.5 till my hem, but I will stop at 6 inches before the hemline. I will stop at it before so that it should be able to work. So now I have to connect the points. So I'm connecting now from my bust point to my waist, then from my waist now I'll connect to my hip. So I'm trying to create the curve now because it's curved here. Mind you have to get your sleeve opening. The sleeve opening I'm using for this person is 10 inches. So from this point now, you measure your 10 inches. See it exactly here. That is where you are sewing. You start from this 10 inches to sew down. So I'm also going to curve the other side. I also give it a curve. So from here I'll just maintain the straight line down. So now we are going to shape this now. Okay, now I'm going to attach my Chinese collar. This side. I will attach it here. Then you have to take note of the one that will be on the right side, and this that has this for the loop for the bottom will be on your right hand side, while this one that has the bottom will be on the left hand side. So I will just put it here and stitch on it. I will do some on this one also. Then by the time I'm done doing it, our gown will be ready. Okay guys, this is the finished product. This is the finished product of our bubu gown. I've attached the Chinese collar. I've also joined the two sides, and I whipped the mouth all around, all through. I whipped it. If you don't want to use whipping on your own, you can use bias to turn it, or you can fold it. But I use whipping for this one, and it came out very beautiful. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, share my videos. It means a lot to me. And also don't forget to put on that notification bell so that anytime I posted a new video, you'll be notified about it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Bye, and God bless you. I love you guys.